You know what? I think there's so many little bones to pick with just pretty much every decision he seems to make annoys somebody in some way. And I know that's football in many ways, but I think when you've got a whole country that's sat, on Twitter, sat ringing in on TalkSport, all complaining about the same things, and it's the same issues every time. And we talk about picking players off form, and we've mentioned on this podcast that we understand and we'll give him a bit when it comes to loyalty to players.
Yeah.
But come on. It gets to a point where you start thinking, you can't, it's not Gareth Southgate's problem that these players aren't playing often for their clubs. It's not his problem. His problem is winning games for England. And what it seems to be doing at this point is showing everybody that there's a reason why these lads aren't playing at home, because they're rubbish at the minute on current form. They can't play to the ability that they once could, or they're not in that vein of form at the moment. You shouldn't be playing them. And listen, I even understand his mindset when it comes to Trent. If he doesn't want to play Trent and doesn't think that he's the right type of player for his system, that's completely fine. But it's then the way that you're trying to play. Even Reece James, who's good defensively, but also a good attacking asset, he looks rubbish because he doesn't know what he's doing either. He's playing in this back five or as a wing back in this back three. And everything about it just screams, I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing. And I think that's when you get to the point where when you've got your players every day in these press conferences, I've seen Declan Rice, Jack Grealish, numerous players just, coming forward and saying, it's all right, we're going to be okay. I think Declan Rice even said, we're going to be good. And the reality is, currently, I'd like to see a bit of it before the World Cup. Our current record, I think aren't we level on form exactly with San Marino? I think we're the only two teams, in terms of goal. And you think, wow, that's never a good place to be heading into the World Cup. But
exactly,
listen, it might be an overreaction, and I'm not saying the Nations League should be something that your players should be, getting really excited for and playing their absolute best. But you've got to give us something to get excited for, ready for the World Cup. And there's players there that have been called up, and you think, oh, I'd like to see a bit of him. Fikayo Tomori. He's not going to play a minute. He didn't get selected tonight. He didn't play the other day. So he's not going to play. Ivan Toney's on the bench tonight. You'd like to see him get a few minutes, see what he can do. You think, what does Harry Kane have to prove to us or to Gareth Southgate? He's the captain. He's going to be the first name on the team sheet. Just give him a minute. He's playing for Spurs all the time. Let him have a minute. Put Ivan Toney on. I think they're at Wembley tonight, aren't they? Let him have his Wembley debut. See how he goes. See how he gets on.
Yeah.
It's everything about it, mate.
The glorified friendlies as well, which is the issue as well. We're already relegated, so it doesn't mean a thing, does it, this game? And we've watched the first half, and it's just like, oh my God, let's just start the pod now. Fuck this game.
Yeah.
Honestly. And even the fact that we got to a final, and even the fact that we got to a World Cup semi-final, he's been the best manager we've ever had since Sir Alf Ramsey. Sorry. But we've seen it for ages, this sort of same issue. And is it a case of that our expectations got a lot higher? I don't think it is, because like I said, we've not scored in 5 games. How can a team in the top 10 of the world with so much infrastructure, with so much attacking force, with so much quality in the team, not score a single goal in 5 games against any team? It's just not right. And there's something fundamentally wrong with either Gareth Southgate or the team or the infrastructure in general right now. Not overall, but right now, that isn't right. And we're 2 months away from the World Cup. We're less than that. It's not a good thing. Do we play any friendlies before then?
I'm not entirely sure. I think this is actually our last game for it. I think I'm right in saying that. And it's not great.
Blackburn play Burnley, and then that's it. I think it's the World Cup. So
straight after then, exactly. It's creeping up. People think it's miles away. It's like these are the 2 games where I thought, obviously Italy aren't there, but Germany are. These are 2 good, strong teams that you can actually go and put a message out to the world just before the World Cup. Like, listen, we got to the Euros final. We want to be doing, we want to be right up there in this World Cup. And it's actually gone the other way. Might work for us in the end. We might be underestimated a little bit, but with a team like England, with a lot on the line all the time, if you're England manager, you need to be getting it right. And at the minute, I think he might just be lucky that it's on the build up to a World Cup that you can't really ask too many questions because, you know, you're not going to sack him now. So we'll have to ride out the World Cup and, you know, fingers crossed and hope for the best. But I think as a talking point, we've hit the nail on the head. It's not good enough, and he's going to reap what he sows after this World Cup.